How's it going, guys? It's Coach Sellers. We are going to be talking about my plate and a bunch of other things in regards to nutrition and childhood obesity. Starting off, as you can see, I'm here on the ChooseMyPlate.gov website, and there's actually an app for this too that you could use on your phone. But this just helps you guys kind of figure out what foods are why it's good for you, etc. Like just this front page, um, we're looking at dairy. All fluid milk products and many foods from milk are considered part of this food group. Foods made from milk that retain their calcium content are part of the group. Foods made from milk that have little to no calcium, such as cream cheese, cream, and butter, are not. Calcium fortified soy milk, soy beverage is also part of the dairy group. Um, Big take from here, calcium is good for your bones, good for bone health and actually immune health, which keeps you from getting sick. And then you got your grains, your rice, your wheat, your cornmeal, your barley. I highly doubt many people are eating barley. Vegetables, any vegetable juice counts as part of the vegetable juice or vegetable group. They may be raw, cooked, fresh, frozen, canned, dried, dehydrated, mashed, any way you want to eat them. Vegetables count as the same all across the board. All right, just looking at some other things, you can look by audience like what your plate should look like. There's children, students, adults, families. There's a bunch of different places you can look and see what people are putting on their plate. There's just a lot of really cool tools on here. Looking at recipes, seasonal things to eat and not eat around the holidays. Um, I think clicking on this Eat Healthy tab gives you a lot of good insight on things. Like you can click, start simple with my plate, and it gives you a video and gives you a rundown of the fruits and veggies, grains, proteins, dairy, and goes on to talk about limiting salt and sodium that might be included in sodas or really salty foods. So just some stuff to look at there. Um, as you can see, it'll go through all this though. It'll explain what is my plate. Um, we'll just click on protein foods here, and it goes highly in depth for what the protein foods are. Okay. Pretty cool stuff. There's, like a meat equivalency showing you uh, ounces of protein and whatnot for different kind of meats and beans for that matter if you don't eat meats, because there is protein in beans and peas, also in nuts and seeds if you don't prefer meat. All right, gonna move on to the PowerPoints. All right, so looking at the risk reducing the risk of nutrition related diseases. Cardiovascular disease. 37% of Americans have cardiovascular disease, which is 81.1 million. That many people have trouble with their hearts. Major risk factors is high blood cholesterol, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, overweight and obesity, physical inactivity, and tobacco use. It also can possibly be hereditary, more so on the side of being a guy. High blood pressure. 34% of Americans have high blood pressure, 74.5 million. High blood pressure is a major risk for heart disease, stroke, congestive heart failure, which is going to look like a heart attack, kidney disease. Dietary factors that increase risk of high blood pressure is excessive sodium intake, which means a lot of salt. Anything with a lot of salt in it is not going to be great for your heart. That's why the more salt you eat or you drink, and sodas or whatnot, you need to balance that by drinking water. Insufficient potassium intake, eat a banana a day. It helps you. Okay. If you like, different fruits, take in different fruits. Fruits are great for potassium. Overweight and obesity and excessive alcohol consumption for the adults around. Diabetes. 11% of Americans have diabetes, which is 24 million. 35% of Americans have prediabetes, which is 78 million. The vast majority of type 2 diabetes cases are linked to poor diet, physical inactivity, and being overweight or obese. Cancer. Dietary factors are associated with the risk of the following cancers: breast, endometrial, colon, kidney, mouth, pharynx, larynx, and esophagus. Those bottom three there are all dealing with your throat and lungs. Approximately 41% of Americans will be diagnosed with cancer in their lifetime. Almost 1 out of 2 people. That's kind of disturbing. Osteoporosis. 50% of women and 25% of men will have an osteoporosis related fracture in their lifetime, which means that their bones are not as strong as they need to be. Even though these fractures happen in old people, 90% of bone density, which is thickness, is developed during the teen years. So right now, you guys' age, it's really important. Adequate nutrition and regular physical activity are important factors in achieving and maintaining optimal bone mass. So take care of your bones right now. Drink milk, exercise, do the right things. All right, so that's all for that nutrition slide. Now we're going to look at childhood obesity. About 1/3 of American children are overweight or obese. So the childhood obesity epidemic is increasing. As you can see from the front kid at the left all the way to the right, that is the growth of the child in a short period of time. Obesity trends among U.S. adults. We're looking at body mass index here, which is 30 pounds overweight for about a 5'4" person. So think, as you get taller and you weigh more, it's probably not going to be good on your body. But just from 1990 to 2009, the United States changed dramatically for the amount of body mass index. The majority of the states were in the blue in 1990, and by 2009, there is not one blue state. So everybody is above the normal capacity of body mass index. And that's 2009. Can you imagine where it's at right now? We're in 2020. Childhood obesity is doubling every couple of decades. You know why? Because there's supersized meals, easy access to food, and it's cheaper. The cheaper the food, the worse it is for you. I read something the other day that says the longer the shelf life, the shorter yours. So that has more preservatives in it. If it, says expires a year from now, that's a little alarming. So just something to think of. Americans spend 150 billion at fast food restaurants each year. Next time you're passing by McDonald's, understand that you are calculated in that if you're getting that fast food. Effects of childhood obesity: type 2 diabetes, metabolic syndrome, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, asthma, early puberty, sleep disorders, and low self-esteem. That's a lot of factors that really start affecting you guys at this current age. In essence, the fat taste is just a habit created by conditioning. All too often, high-fat foods or sweets are held out as rewards to children for good behavior. Have you ever heard, if you do really good at this, we're going to get ice cream, burger, candy, whatever. Dr. Leanne Birch at the University of Illinois Child Development Lab has found that Western countries, young children are conditioned or taught to like animal-based foods. For example, how many times have you heard parents say, you can have ice cream if you eat your spinach? That's another way. They quickly assume that if the ice cream is a reward, then the spinach must be the punishment. So we learn to hate what is good for us in a sense. So I hope this made you guys think a lot about what we got going on here, nutrition wise. And I hope this helped and gave you a little information. Please contact me if you need me. I wish you the best on your work this upcoming 2 weeks, and I hope everybody has a happy Thanksgiving.